welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Charlotte. Today I'm going to be going through the 26 book series I'm in the middle of and deciding whether I'm going to continue them, whether I am done with them forever, or whether I'm not sure. Starting off with contemporary romance, and I've just noticed there is a lot of ice hockey here. So we've got The DC Stars by Chelsea Curto. At the moment, we've got 5 books out. I have read the first 4. I have not read her most recent one, Sin Bin. I did start it and I kind of soft DNF'd it and put it down because I wasn't really in the mood. It is in the back of my mind that I do want to go back. I am not done with the series. She's got 2 more books set to come out, and Hat Trick is one of my all-time favorite contemporary romance ice hockey books. So I definitely do want to finish it. In Sin Bin, the FMC is the sister of a hockey player and the MMC is the coach of that hockey player's team. So it sounds really forbidden. It's an age gap romance, which I love. So I definitely need to go back to it. Then we've got the Ice Hawk series. I won't be continuing this series. I DNF'd this first book. Personally, it was just too much for me. The grief aspect of this book just had me kind of tapping into what it would feel like to have my mom having cancer, and I'm just not interested in those feelings. I've learned through this book that grief books are not for me. And honestly, I would have continued the series and considered starting a different book, but I messaged someone to find out about what actually happens in this book. And based on a few things they told me, I'm just kind of like, look, it seems like this author kind of just like shock factor wants to trauma dump and shock factor wants to give you pain. And I'm not the kind of person who wants to read to experience pain. So yeah, I'm not really interested in continuing this series. Then we have the Midnight Strike series. This is the first and only book currently out. 100% I will be continuing. I absolutely love this book so much. I think the way that E. Salvador handled the mental health aspects and the trauma was done so beautifully. I was locked into every step of this journey. The slow burn was perfection, and once it burned, oh my god. Daniel Garcia is a top tier MMC for me as well. She's already teased the next characters in this book and I'm very, very excited to finally get a release date. Then we have the Maple Hill series. This is another ice hockey romance. I absolutely loved Icebreaker. This is a 5-star book for me and genuinely one of my favorite ice hockey books I've read ever. I loved both Stasi and Nate, and I think this book gets unnecessary amounts of hate and I genuinely do not understand why. As for the series itself, I won't be continuing. I did read the second book and I didn't like it, and then I went to start the third book and I also didn't like it. So it's kind of giving this was a one-hit wonder for me. I would recommend this book, but definitely not going to be continuing. Then we've got the Pine Barren University series. This is an indie ice hockey romance series. Absolutely loved. I read the first 2 books. Delicious. I was going to read the third one, but it was a character that I didn't really like. And honestly, I don't know why I decided not to read it, because usually those are the characters that I end up loving. But the main kind of aspect of this book was the fact that he was injured, and I wasn't really in the mood to go through a whole journey of him being upset about that and the struggles that come with that, because I had just recently read at the time Binding 13 and I had already gone through Johnny's whole journey of like his groin injury and everything. So I was like, all right, I need a break from these injuries. But I definitely want to go back. There's 6 books and it's just a fun, good time. If you're looking for an underrated ice hockey romance, I would definitely recommend. Then we have the Undone series by Peyton Corinne. Honestly, one of the best ice hockey series I've ever read. The mental health representation in this book was written so well. Peyton Corinne actually sits down with psychologists and she's gone into a bit of explanation on how much effort she puts into representing these characters and their struggles properly. She has characters experiencing depression, PTSD, autism, OCD. Honestly, such beautiful and emotionally deep stories. I am utterly obsessed. And the next book, which is the 4th one in the series, which is the only one I haven't read yet, is not out yet. So I am sitting with bated breath. So excited for that release. Then we've got the Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. This is a bit of an interesting one for me because I love Anna Huang as an author. I love the way she writes. I love the diversity that she puts into her characters. I didn't love the series as a whole though. King of Envy and King of Greed are the only books in the series I really enjoyed. I will finish it. There is one more book, King of Lust, coming out next. So I'm like, I may as well finish it. But yeah, King of Gluttony, her most recent one, I didn't love. So I don't really have very high hopes for it. But I do kind of just want to put a bow on that series and go, I am done. Then we've got her other series, Gods of the Game. I will not be finishing this. I DNF'd the first book, which is the only Anna Huang book to this date that I have not finished. I was so bored. It was just way too long, not for me, and I'm not interested in the rest of the books there. I'm trying to kind of decide whether or not I'm outgrowing her as an author. King of Lust, you've got some big shoes to fill because you are the deciding book, and if I love it, I will continue reading her books. If I don't love it, I'm happy to kind of just move on. Then we've got Boys of Tommen. If Chloe Welsh ever deigns to give us another book, I will for sure be reading it. I am still utterly traumatized from the events of releasing 10. All I want is Lizzie and Huey to get their happy ending. I can't even handle the way that book ended. I had tears in my eyes, the emotional trauma that I received. I think I've just had to make peace with the fact that she might never finish the series. I genuinely do not know what's going in that woman's brain, but if she wants to heal me, I'm ready to be healed. Otherwise, I'm kind of just ignoring the events of that book because it's just too much to tap into. It makes me upset. Then we have Emerald Lake by Elsie Silver. I will be continuing because I do love Elsie Silver as an author, and Kate Eden from Heartless is one of my all-time favorite contemporary romance men ever. So I am going to continue to read her books. I wasn't really happy with this. I ended up giving it 3.5. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I filmed way too quickly after reading it. Initially, I was like, yeah, 4 stars. And then after thinking about it, I was like, no, that was definitely 3.5. That was not a 4 stars. So yeah, I'll be continuing, but I'm not exactly racing for the next book, and I might not read it on release. I'll just get to it eventually, I suppose. Then we've got Leighton Yu. This is a 5-book sports college romance series. Absolutely loved. This is so much fun. I've done all these books on audio. I've read 4 out of the 5 because the 5th book isn't available yet, so I'm just gonna wait until I can read it on audiobook. Christian Fox has been dominating these books, and he is absolutely incredible. I'm obsessed with him. He needs to narrate more books because, oh my god, the emotion and just like the attractiveness. He has such a hot voice. He's got a hot voice. He does Garrett Graham in the Deal audiobook as well. Moving into dark romance. There aren't actually too many unfinished series, which I'm so proud of because, wow, I think that once I get locked into a really, really addictive dark romance series, I just need to finish it. So feeling quite happy about that. But first up, we've got the Shadow series by R. Nimes. At the moment, we've got 3 proper books and a novella. I will definitely be finishing it. I'm pretty sure she's only got 1 more to go. It is actually a character that I kind of don't love, so I'm curious about the way that she redeems her and her to find her love story. This is a mafia series, and honestly, this book in itself, Damien Roxy, oh my god, Damien is my top mafia man. So yes, 100% will be finishing when she releases the next book. Then we've got Gravemont Elite. Quiet Obsession is the only one currently out. This was one of my favorite reads of the year. Absolutely obsessed. You've got a selectively mute FMC with a lot of trauma and a guy who is utterly obsessed with her and desperate to hear the sound of her voice. A spicy good time. There's a sharing scene. He's throwing out the word baby every second sentence. It's just so hot. This is a new author for me, and I'm praying that the next book is just as good. I have a little bit of trauma from Icebreaker and how much I loved that book and then really just disliking the rest of the book. So please, IA Dies, have the next book be just as good. I am super excited for its release. Then we have the Kimura Chronicles by Cora Riley. I've done books 1, 2, and 3, and I'm currently on book 4. I kind of soft DNF'd it. I am loving this series, and I do want to go back to it. I'm just a little bit irritated because Twisted Bonds, which is the 4th one, which is the one I soft DNF'd, is the second part of a duet of other characters, and I'm like, I just didn't think that it was necessary for it to be a duet. I want to move on. I want to do the other 2 men. I do think I will go back soon, but I will probably just skip the rest of Twisted Bonds because I'm like, this isn't really that relevant and not very necessary probably to the other 2 guys. So we'll be continuing for sure. Then we have the Sinners Anonymous series. I have read the first 3 books in the series. This is a maybe as to whether or not I will be continuing it, only because there was a lot of kind of conjecture online about people not being happy with Gabe's first book. A lot of people said it was the worst in the series. So I'm kind of like, oh gosh, like I'm happy with Angelo's book and Rafe's duet. So if Gabe's duet isn't really great, whatever. But I think I will just wait and see what happens when the second part of his duet's released. And if everyone's so happy with that and it kind of like makes up for the first book not being great, then I might go back. Okay, romantasy time. So I have quite a few unfinished romantasy series that I need to talk about. First up, we've got the Flames and Thorns duet by Marion Blackwood. This was a recent read of mine. I did the first 3 books. There's 5 in the series. Honestly, I think I just fell out of the mood. I was loving it. The plot twists were great. The writing was great. You didn't have to think too hard. It was one of those worlds where everything is kind of spoon-fed to you. And I do love a fantasy like that because honestly, sometimes I genuinely am not in the mood to sit there and go, who's this person? What's happening? Oh my gosh. So I'm not certain if I'm going to finish it because I'm kind of happy with what I got, but it was really good. So I'm going to say maybe. Then we've got ACOTAR. Hell yeah, I'm going to be finishing ACOTAR. Oh my God, literally on the edge of my seat waiting for that next book. And I swear to God, if it's not about Azriel, I am going to be so angry. I don't even care who he ends up with. Whatever. Just give me that man. Give me his love story. He's going to be a freak in the sheets. I am so ready for it. Honestly, I won't be rereading the series before that book comes out because I feel like it's very fresh in my mind. I did a reread last year, so I am ready. Then we've got the Crowns of Nyaxia series. This is a 6-book romantasy vampire, which was so hot. The first book was giving Hunger Games, but make it vampires. I absolutely loved. I had a great time. I finished off the first duet, and then I wanted to wait for the second duet to be finished before reading it, and then I just kind of never went back. I really need to though. I have the books. I own them, and I do want to go back. I am just not sure when I'm gonna do that because I do need to reread the first duet and I'm just so not in a rereading mood, but yes, I do need to. Then we have the Empyrean series. Of course, I'm going to be continuing. I have not read Onyx Storm yet. I know that is insane to say, but truly, I am a binge reader, and if I had her whole series, I would have probably reread it multiple times already. Having to lock back into this world after a year of not reading it is so much effort, and I am not emotionally prepared for the devastation that I'm gonna feel once it's finished. I'm not prepared for the slump. So yeah, I have not read this yet. I would love for her to just release the next book so that I can read 2 in one go. I don't know how I've avoided all the spoilers for this series. I literally, left, right, and center, I've been swiping away. Like, don't tell me anything. So yeah, I do need to get to this at some point. I tried to read it with my friend Angela. We were going to read it at the same time. And I started and then I completely quit on her because I'm horrible. And I just was like, no, I'm not ready. So yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Then we have the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. This is one of my all-time favorite fae romantasy series. I haven't read the 6th and final book because I'm not mentally prepared or ready for it to finish. I have this problem sometimes where I'm not ready to leave world and I just put off reading the last book. And it's a very big problem. I want to go and reread all the 5 books so that I can remind myself of every little bit so that when I read the last book, I can really tap into it and I remember everything. And I went to go try and listen to it on the audiobook, but I really, really disliked the girl's voice. So I was like, I'm not ready to reread 5 books. So I don't know if maybe I should just read the last book and just force myself to get through it, but I don't know, I was so attached to this world and I just don't know if I can do it and not remember every little detail because then that's just not doing the book justice and I just love this series. I think this year I'm going to do it. Okay, no, this year I will finish the Plated Prisoner series. I will read Goldfinch. I need to read it. I need to force myself to just read it or reread it. I've got problems, okay? I loved this series. Sins of the Zodiac. Oh my God. So there's currently 3 books out. This is in the same world as Zodiac Academy. And you've got the 4th and final book coming out next year. Hell yeah, I'm going to be reading that 4th and final book. Oh my God. Absolute perfection. Books 2 and 3 were both 5 stars for me. Book 1 is definitely a bit of a push through book. Unfortunately, it was giving like 3-star, 3.5-star energy for a lot of it. And then the ending was insane. So I kind of had to bump it up to 4 stars. So yeah, if you want to start the series, push through the first book. It is so worth it. And if you've already read Zodiac Academy, it'll just kind of all make a bit more sense. It'll be a bit easier to comprehend, but 1000% I'm going to be finishing. This series is absolute crack. And I am so excited for the paperback versions to be available in Australia because I need them on my shelf. Then we have On Wings of Blood. So this is kind of an interesting one for me because I read book 1 and 2 and I enjoyed them, and I've just had no desire to pick up book 3 at all. I simply have not. The first book got me out of my romantasy reading slump, so I think I feel a good vibe towards it because of that, but I don't really care to go back to that world. So I guess I'm gonna say no, because I'm probably not gonna pick the third book back up. Then we've got the Wolf King series. So I read The Wolf King and I enjoyed it, 4 stars. I think the pacing was great. It was intriguing. I was interested. Didn't really care for her. Really didn't like him. But it's giving love triangle, and I liked the other option, even though he was barely in it. I've heard in the second book, you still don't even get to properly explore the second option. It's kind of like teasing. So I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do a whole book teasing the second option and have to wait for the third book for her to finally get with him. Like, and then if she doesn't pick him, like, nah. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue that series. I'm just like, I don't want to have to push through this wet blanket of a man, Callum. I just don't really care. And you know, he's wearing a kilt and he says and look, it's just not really my vibe. Then we've got Shield of Sparrows. So I read this book recently, loved it, 4.25 stars. I'm definitely gonna read the next one in the series. I think I'm just emotionally preparing myself because it is more of a fantasy forward book. So yeah, definitely keen to read it when I'm in the mood. So 100% will be continuing. And then we've got my 2 dystopian series. Oh my God, I am such a dystopian girl. I grew up reading Divergent, Legend, all of that, utterly obsessed. I love it so much. Silver Elite is one of my favorite God tier series ever. I will definitely be reading the 3rd book, and I'm waiting on bated breath for its release. You will not be able to pry that book out of my hands. I will be sitting locked in and reading that. If I could have any book right now, it would be the 3rd book in that series. Let me tell you, I am so curious what's going on there. And then we have Daggermouth, 6-star dystopian. I just literally can't. One of my friends described this book as everyone's just hot. And everyone is just hot, and the plot is so good, and the ending was insane. I have trauma. I absolutely loved it. So much fun. This is going to be a duet, so I will 1000% be reading the next book. There you have it. Those are all the 26 series that I'm currently in the middle of, and whether I'm going to be continuing them, not continuing them, and whether I'm not sure. I feel like I didn't have too many not sures, which I love. But anyways, if you enjoyed listening to me yap, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.